we have Dr. John Otto, a veterinarian in town, to share with us about the Friends of Folks program. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Dr. Otto, you've been around for a long time in this community. Tell us just quickly, quickly about yourself and how you got yourself involved in this program.
Okay. Well, it's kind of indirectly through the shelter. I do a lot of animal shelter work, and I've done that in Norman for many years. And from that, a good friend of mine helped start the program down in Lexington, the prison dog program. That's what we're talking about. And they take animals from shelters, and just like the Oklahoma City shelter, and then the inmates train them, and then they become pets for people who are like widowed or need a companion pet, or like at the Veterans Center, things like that. So, and we started the program recently at Mabel Bassett Correctional Center, the women's prison, and most of our animals come through OK Humane or from the Oklahoma City shelter.
So why is a program like this important? Share with us what types of things happen when you pair an animal and an inmate.
Yeah, first, I didn't want to go to prison. Nobody really wants to go to prison, so unless they have to.
You just made it sound like you went to prison,
yes,
but you meant to visit a prison, right?
Yeah, visit a prison. So anyway, so my friend, Dr. Turnwell, invited me to come down and see the program, and I was really reluctant and very hesitant to do so. But after a lot of thought and prayer, I decided to go ahead and give it a try, a venture. And I went, and once I saw it, where these animals come from shelters where nobody wants them, to often inmates who really nobody wants them often, and you match these two together, and the magic that comes out of that relationship, and they see each other in each other, that there's often not wanted, and then from that the animal becomes wanted and loved, and you see this transformation occur not only in the animal but then in the inmate as well, the person, and the changes are so profound, and then this gift is given to someone who needs a companion pet. And that's where the beauty of the program comes and the magic again happens. And it's a ripple effect that goes on, not only for the inmate, for the animal, but then in the community at large. And so it's a kind of program that's just magical, and I love it because so many are affected by it.
So they can learn a skill.
Yeah, and it is a skill. Dog training is a skill. And they also learn how to groom, and we're going to be doing that at Mabel Bassett, having a grooming center there as well. So it is a skill. When you come out, most of these people that come out have felonies, and it's hard to get work, and dog training is an area that they can go into, or dog grooming too. Yeah.
So some people might be concerned that it would be unsafe for animals.
Have
you ever had that?
I've had that question posed a lot. There have been, maybe some instances where there may have been some issue with an animal. We've never had anything serious happen. Mostly these inmates are feel so fortunate to have the animal that they just take such good care of them. They love them, and it means a great deal to have this as their companion there. Oftentimes they come to an empty cell or a place that is not welcoming. They come into a cell where there's an animal waiting for them, and it's such a bright thing. You can see it in their faces, And I produced 2 documentaries. One is called Dogs of Lexington, and I did this with OCCC with Professor Greg Malott, and the most recent one is called Bassett Tales, Tales, and they're both on YouTube, and they both depict what these programs are about.
Great.
Yeah.
So tell us one quick story about how partnering a particular animal and a particular inmate really changed them.
Yeah, well, it's basically this book that my son and I wrote called Marvin Shining Star, and it's a story about a dog named Star.
It's a children's book?
Yes, it's a children's book, and it's a story about a dog named Star, which is this little crochet dog that the ladies make at Mabel Bassett, and how Star came from the Norman shelter and was trained by my friend Marvin. And what happened was Star ended up being a very good tracking dog, one of the best they'd ever seen. And a woman who had Alzheimer's drifted off their unit. They couldn't find her. They used helicopters, tracking teams, spent 10 hours, could not find this lady. And she was going to die because she had Alzheimer's and didn't have any means of taking care of herself. And so they went and got Star from the prison. Tracy Beckelheimer, the coordinator, did, who was on the sheriff's department for Paoli. And they used Star in about 20 minutes with the woman's pillowcase, found a woman in a ravine with Star. And so Star saved the woman's life, and thereby, got the Hero Award for the state for her action. And then I wrote the Governor Henry a letter about what Marvin had done, what Star had done, and through that Marvin was up for parole, and then he got paroled and was released from prison because of that. Otherwise, he had never been out of prison. So the book is a good story. We're using it a lot to talk about the prison dog program, to talk about the animals in shelters, how they can really be used to become great companion pets. And in this case, saved a woman's life, and then saved Marvin's life too. And then, so anyway, so that's another thing I'm doing, is working a lot with children whose parents are incarcerated. Yeah.
So we have a few seconds left. Can you tell us how people can get more information about this program and just some of the things that they can do to get involved?
Yeah, so it's called the Friends for Folks program. We have a website that you can look it up on, friendsforfolks.org, and you can see things that we're doing with it, where you can donate money, and how you can become involved would be like helping the Oklahoma City shelter out with OK Humane, or like in Norman helping Second Chance out, because most of our animals in Lexington come from Second Chance, where most of our animals in Mabel Bassett come from OK Humane or the Oklahoma City Animal Shelter. So by volunteering with those organizations, you can help these animals get in, good homes into the prison and get trained, and then go out and get good homes.
So can they help to volunteer directly in the prison,
they
or
can,
by giving a donation?
Yeah, the donation is going to be the most easiest way to do this. To volunteer in a prison, it takes training. You have to be background checked, and then you have to be supervised. Right. So it's not very easy. It's much easier to become involved with like OK Humane or Second Chance, or the shelter in general, volunteer there, where you can have a direct impact on the animals, which then go to the prison and get trained and come back and hopefully get good homes because of their training. Yeah.
Well, Dr. Otto, thank you so much for your commitment and energy to this program. Yeah. You said earlier that you had a lot of passion for it, and it comes off in your speaking and all that you're doing to make a difference, not only for homeless animals, but for people who are often forgotten and not necessarily given the time and skills that they need to be productive members of society. So thank you so much for this program and for all that you do for the sheltering community. We appreciate having you here today.
Thank you. It's an honor and a privilege.
Thank you.